You're live.
Here it is.
Out of focus.
So.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Not even worth nibbling. Oh boy. Here we go.
This is we're live. Okay.
Robert, to the back.
Get away!
Hey, good AB.
Start right there.
Put this in the back there. You want to hang out? You want to hold it?
RBI's up there.
Hang on.
Do you have power to the battery going right now?
Yeah. There. Now it should be. It doesn't even look like this is charged.
I know.
Okay, if there's somebody in the chat room, can you just say hello? I know it's out of focus. It's terrible. There's somebody in the chat room. Give us a hello. Hey, Randy. Bob, can you turn up the volume if it's not all the way up? Just max it. I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
Watch it, Court. Nothing.
Anybody out there? Okay, thank you, Skeeters. Thanks, Mom. Hey, Mom. All right. Let's walk down a little bit and we'll start the stream. So I was hoping to set up behind home plate, but the manager gave me a side eye when I asked, so we're going to do it from here. Hopefully next game we'll get the green light to go behind. This is game one of the 2022 Palm Springs Desert Classic, game one for the Mammoth. This is the first inning. We got guys on first and second. Hans Hegerness reached on an error. Tom Corcoran hit a line drive to right for a single. Got Nate Stark at the plate right now. Top of the first, no score. Game one. Are we in your way? We can move. Okay. Nate Stark at the plate, or 3-hole. First and second, nobody out.
Take a look, 14.
Pitch was a little high. Call the ball.
I've seen mostly fastball.
Yeah, Casey Johnson said that this guy's got a slider. We were so busy scrambling with the stream that I didn't get a good chance to look at his warm-up. What we do know about this team is that they annihilated the team they played last night. A couple teams played Friday night, last night, to kick the tournament off. I think the tournament wanted to spread the games out a little bit. And this team beat the team they played, I don't know, it was like 20-something to something. So we came in a little apprehensive that we'd be facing a juggernaut off out of the gate. It's a good fastball.
Good spot.
Good spot too, yeah, out. So I'm here with Bob Gordon. Bob is on the DL this tournament, so usually I do a lot of the streaming solo, but Bob is going to be my partner. Who are we? So are we Joe and Buck? Howard Cosell and Frank Gifford?
I like the old school. Joe Buck is sort of polarizing.
I mean, we could go back to the 80s. We could be like Joe Garagiola and Tony Kubek. They did the World Series back in the 80s, and they were exceptional. I'll be Tony Kubek. You can be Joe Garagiola.
Before my time, Tom.
Yeah, I think we have mostly gray hairs listening to this, so my mom probably remembers those back from the 80s. Ooh, there's a shot to left center.
Nate.
Wow, that is a bomb. That is in the gap. It's going to empty the bases. Nate's going to pull up at second base. I think he got a good shot of that, given our angle. What was that pitch, Bob? Did you see? fastball away?
Looked fastball
It was
away,
off
he
the
went with
plate.
it, Yeah.
Pitcher snuck a fastball by Nate. I think the pitch before that. And Nate adjusted his, I think he adjusted the timing, his load, whatever, his trigger. This is the first live game pitching that most of these guys, all of these guys have seen since the summer, so. We're anticipating some rust. Yeah, that's true. You're right. I mean, Arizona, which was in the fall, so it's been a couple months for everybody. It's Casey Johnson, 4-hole. Aggressive cut. Casey was talking about the slider, and there it was.
He's aggressive with it.
We are in the top of the first. If you're just joining us, the score is 2-0. Hans reached on an air. Cork hit a line drive to right field for a single, and Nate Stark cleared the bases with a double to left center, a booming double. Casey Johnson falls behind 0-2. So started him with a fastball and came back. No, started him with a slider and came back with the fastball. I would expect another slider, wouldn't you? Or did he set up the slider with the fastball in? That was the slider off the plate.
What was the slider?
You almost want to set him up with the fastball in, right?
I'm always nervous about 0-2 going in and then missing over the plate.
Or hitting him, I suppose, too. So maybe you just try to dispatch him with that slider, since you got him swinging badly that first pitch.
I'd almost go up and then bring back a slider.
So Bob pitches in real life, so we'll have a pitcher's perspective back here, which is cool. Ooh, there's a fastball away. Now that's something you don't see very often. Casey Johnson striking out. But again, we're all gonna knock the rust off this first game. So this is a 3-game round-robin tournament. We have a game right now, and then we play immediately after this at a different field in this complex. And then tomorrow we have a game. And if we advance to the playoffs, we'll play tomorrow evening. So I think tomorrow's game will be, I think, about midday back home. I'm not exactly sure, but we could have 2 more tomorrow. And we'll talk about the playoff structure later. There, Billy was just behind on that one.
Good cut.
Yeah, definitely a good swing. Bill does not get cheated up there.
I think he's looking at that same gap that needs.
It's a good fastball.
Sneaky.
Yeah, this isn't a physically imposing pitcher, but it looks like he's got a pretty good fastball, and the slider, I think, has got some bite too. That like a changeup, right? Something off speed?
Yeah.
I was hoping to set up right behind home plate, and I talked to the manager, and he seemed okay with it, but he also talked about carding some of our guys. I think there's some skepticism over there that a guy like Matt Grill, maybe Hans, a couple of guys got some really nice flow, and these guys probably aren't accustomed to seeing that, guys who are 35 and older, so I don't think they're going to card us, but we're prepared if they do. Ooh.
Yeah, Billy.
That's a good pitch, right?
0-2, that's a great pitch.
Nice. Well, that's great for you guys to come out here.
It's a good take by Billy. I think it was up and away a little bit, but there's certain umpires in the TCMABL where that's strike 3, especially if it's a hot, muggy day on Sunday in late August. Yeah. Just a good fastball. Boy, that double that Nate hit, that's looming large. 2 straight strikeouts. Here's Ryan Lutzka. Ludi cut his finger opening up packaging of a wiffle ball pitching machine, apparently. So there's some concern in the Mammoth dugout that it may affect Ludi's pitching. We'll see if it affects his bat.
Oh, did you see it? Okay.
What is that, Bob? Is that a changeup? It's not a slider, is it?
Something off speed. It's not a changeup.
I don't think it's got the bite of a slider.
My husband, yeah.
Just a bad slider, maybe.
He was just up batting. He just struck out.
Go, Ludi.
It's kind of his jam every once in a while.
Now, one thing Ludi does, as well as, I don't want to say as well as anyone I've ever played with, because I played with a lot of dudes, and I'd have to really comb through the archives to say this with confidence. One thing he does exceptionally well is work counts. He does not panic when he falls behind 0-2. He's very comfortable hitting behind. See right there. He's got a very discerning eye up there.
If definitely working him away here.
I wonder if he
He's gonna come in.
I wonder if he uses these first, in a first at bat like this, just to kind of get a sense of what the umpire is going to call. I think most guys aren't thinking like that when they're up there on this level, but it wouldn't surprise me if Ludi is. Wow, he struck out the side. Slammed his glove. He's happy with that. So the takeaway there is that this pitcher's got some good stuff, right, Ron?
I mean, those fastballs are kind of creeping up on us, but
It's not an
Didn't throw-
overpowering fastball, right? Like we're gonna speed the bats up and hit it, but it's enough, I think.
a couple good spots.
Yeah.
So I mean, it didn't feel like any of those pitches were down the middle.
Yeah.
He might have tied up Billy a little bit. Worked Ludi away the entire time.
Struck out the side though. You don't see the Mammoth striking out 3 times in a row very often.
But after plating too. So do you take the striking out the side in exchange for 2 runs every inning?
I think you do.
We'll see what kind of hitters he's got, Dahl.
So our game 1 starter is Nate Stark. The long lefty from the Northeast 9. Started his career in the TC Bale with the Northeast 9. Moved over to the... Yeah, you're on it. We got you.
It was cool.
Is it okay? Okay, just to be clear, like he's injured and I'm not going to play much, so there's be 2 guys
the guy
back
says that as
there.
long as you give us the thing, we can send to our guys.
We'll
too.
do that. We'll do that. Thank you.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
we'll go
I
back.
know. I forgot to tell you.
Cool. All right, we got the okay to be behind home plate. This is a treat. This is just the best view. Like this is so much more fun for me personally because we can talk about the break of the pitches and you get the whole field. And I know as a viewer, the Diamond Dan production always features this static camera for behind home plate. You also don't have to listen to me talk, which I know. This broadcast isn't for everybody. So if the voice bothers you as much as it bothers me, just mute me and just watch the stream. We got Bob.
I'm not able to mute you though, Tom.
Yeah, that's right. The nice thing is we're gonna have Bob all tournament, so it won't just be my voice. It won't just be the Fargo accent. You'll have 2 of us. Manager was very.
You get a chance to let us know the link.
Yeah. Do you want it? Can we give it to you after the game? Or you want it right now?
We want to watch it live. Just
Okay. Can you?
Let me send my smart guy.
Okay. What is it? Indoor baseball experience?
Yeah.
Okay, at Twitch TV.
I'm not sure why they want to watch it live as they're actually watching it live in person.
I mean, this way it evens it out. Like they can, I guess, get a view of the pitcher. You can't really see much from this stream. I mean, is that an argument not to be standing back here? That they can see the movement on the pitches?
I mean, the batter gets to see the movement on the pitches when they're up there.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not worry about it. They were gracious enough to let us do this, so we'll give them a sneak peek at Nate Stark. So again, some managers, some teams don't want you standing back here because you can see the play of the pitches, obviously. It's a fly ball to center. It's a long way for Billy. It's hanging up there, though. Billy calling, catch, 1 out. That one got up and in on the guy. Kind of an inside-out push swing. Try to get his hands through. Caused the barrel to kind of lag behind. Pushed it out to center field. Easy out, 1 out.
You notice there is no field or fence in center field.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk a little bit about the field that we were placed on. So this is a high school we're playing at, and there's a varsity field and a JV field. Later tonight we play at the varsity field. It's got lights.
Yeah, so we're on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch.
This is a JV field. There is no fence in center field. It's basically a building, so you can probably see it in the background there. So we've got a fence in left, a fence in right, and these are basically snow fences. I mean, a little bit more substantial.
Fencing.
Yeah, concert fencing, right. But nothing in center field. Turned on that.
Shot down the line, foul.
It was a good spot on that pitch, though. I mean, he wasn't going to do much with that pitch. If he tried to hit that up the middle, it would have been jammed. It would hit something soft. That was up and in enough that to get the barrel on it, you got to rip open like that. See where he goes now. That's up and away. That's what you would expect after getting one up and in like that. This is their 2-hitter. Scores Mammoth 2. Southern California Jacks, I think is who they are. Nothing.
Great spot on the corner.
Yeah, so it was in, out, in. We'll see what pitch Nate establishes and gets most comfortable with. There's a curveball that he kind of left up. That's over his head. Oh, nice catch. So that's Pat Ralston out and right. We'll go over the defense in a second. Pat broke in on it. Then he recovered, took a couple steps back, and made a nice catch. We don't have a high sky today. We've got some cloudy conditions, so that's going to help, I think, the outfielders.
Visibility should be pretty good.
Yeah, you don't have that high sky, so. Quickly around the base, we've got defensively, we've got Mike Lippert at catcher. Pitch down and in. Ryan Lutzke at third base. Hans Hegerness at short. Matt Grill at second. Got Rob Jones at first base. This is Mammoth debut. Out and left, we got Tommy the Cork. Center fielder is Billy Houseman. In right field, we got Pat Ralston. And we got a bench of about 6 guys. Notable subtractions from the Arizona roster are Diamond Dan Casaza and Murray Hull. We were talking last night, it's hard to lose 2 guys of that caliber. They are irreplaceable, but if you're going to find 2 guys to replace them, you might have a hard time finding 2 better guys than Hans Hegerness and Tommy the Cork. So I know Randy feels pretty good about this roster. So bottom of the first, 2-0 Mammoth, 2 outs. Nice pitch. That was his changeup, down and in. Is that a changeup, you think?
I missed it. It was in. Good pitch. Down.
It's a good start for the Mammoth. End of 1, Mammoth up 2-0. So just to finish the conversation on the field, we have no fencing in center field. I think it's a fairly deep shot to left and right. It's hard to tell.
Indoor baseball.
But certainly with the open space out in center, I don't know what they decided at home plate, but I look at that. I think of a guy like Tommy the Cork, whose power really is to left center to right center. He doesn't pull a lot of balls. I mean, he does, but
Once it hits concrete out in the concession.
What is the rule?
If it hits the concrete in that concession stand, it is dead ball.
Okay. So we can't have
Oh, you're welcome.
we can't have a little league home run where you just line it over someone's head and then run forever.
Well, there's not concrete everywhere, so if it goes into those bleachers, is what it's called. I mean, there's also some open gaps like between fencing.
Yeah.
You probably can't tell, but the fencing is leaning dramatically in left field. So I'd caution against running into it.
Yeah.
You're going to get caught up in some change.
And then you'll end up on YouTube because this will go viral.
We don't want a Bump Bailey situation.
No. Especially if they got a Roy Hobbs on the bench, right? That would be even worse for us. I mean, obviously it would be a tragedy for them, but from our perspective, we don't want Roy Hobbs in the game. So batting 5th? No, this is our 7 batter. 6 batter? 7.
Billy was 5, Ludi 6.
Which,
Randy. 7.
reflecting the depth of our lineup, batting 7th, we have Randy Schmidt. Some of you guys are familiar with the indoor baseball experience. It's a indoor baseball league back in Minneapolis, and Randy's one of the founders. He's also a participant. And he has been destroying pitches in the Ibex league. So we will see what we get from Randy this first at bat. We've been playing in the 65-mile-an-hour division. And I think that pitching, that fast, that it's machine pitching, but I think the speed there is comparable to this guy's fastball. So I would anticipate Randy is going to be on this. A little bit out in front of that one, which is not uncommon for Randy to be out in front of a baseball. We're in the top of the second. Mammoth lead 2-0. 2 out, 1 out, 0 out. 2 RBI double from Nate Stark in the first. It's a curveball. It may drop. That's in there. That's in there. Randy won't be thrilled with that. I'm looking over there. He's got a smile on his face. Shaking his head. Yeah. As a hitter, you just want that first hit, right? It almost doesn't matter how you get it.
For most guys.
For most guys. I mean, when you're an elite guy, that's like for me, I'd be very happy with that. But
we'd be all happy for you.
yeah, there'd be a lot of, I'd be a lot of attaboy time, you know. With Randy, it's kind of a, that's okay, Randy. You'll get him next time. All right, here's Mike Lippert. Lip was the MVP in the Mammoth championship run last fall in the MSPL World Series 35-plus division. He caught, oh, there's that high fastball. Chase that one, up and in. Mike caught just about every inning of the run down there. Diamond Dan subbed in for a couple of innings, I believe, but Mike was just a draft horse back there. And on top of that, he was one of the most consistent hitters, and he probably finished with one of the better averages on the team. We had a lot of hitters down there, but that was a little high.
Was his complaint high or was it out?
Did you think? I thought it was high. You thought it was out? Maybe both?
I mean, I thought if anything was high, it did not feel like it was high.
Score is 2-0 Mammoth. This is the top of the second inning. We've got a guy in first with 1 out. This pitcher struck out 4 of the last 5 batters, though. Here's Rob Jones. I have a lot of things to say about Rob as the tournament goes on.
They've not recorded an out in the field, have they?
No, they haven't. It's every out. So every out they've gotten, every out the Mammoth have committed has been a strikeout to this point. Come on, Rob, get that bat through. Does this strike you as a quick fastball?
I think it gets on you there, and he's been putting it on in and out.
Yeah, I think he's spotting it pretty well. So he went out, then he came in with the fastball. Let's see what he does here. Maybe the changeup or the slider. I mean.
Yeah. That might have almost been a change.
That might have been the changeup. Yeah.
Down.
Count is 1-2.
So now he's got to guess.
Yeah, this is the spot Rob didn't want to be in his first at bat. I would bury a slider in on his knees. Not so fast all the way. Good cut, Rob.
He's got it fast. He left that out over the plate.
Yeah.
He definitely wanted that in just with the catcher set up.
Now you just bury a slider at his ankles, don't you? He hasn't pitched it yet this at bat. And I know he's got one. We'll see.
And he almost bounced it right out the back of the plate.
Yeah. That's the changeup, right?
Yeah.
So he's going fastball changeup. Maybe he's not comfortable with that slider. We haven't seen the slider from back here, so it's hard to say exactly how much bite it has or how much control he's got over it. So Rob is a Skeeter transplant. Rob plays in the 35-plus TCMBL division as a Skeeter. He's been playing for a long time. Spent some time with the Lumberjacks back when the Lumberjacks were in the Federal League. And now he's traveling down to Palm Springs with the Mammoth. Come on, Rob. I used to joke with Rob that when he first started playing, he thought you got 6 balls as a baseball player and 4 strikes because he never swung the bat. He's become a little more aggressive as he's gotten older, maybe more comfortable. He's comfortable swinging now. He's putting up a good fight here. You know, a lot of guys were swinging and missing that fastball. Rob's on it. Followed that straight back. I know he's hoping for I know it'll help him relax if he gets a hit. This is his first time in front of these guys, in front of a lot of these guys, so I'm sure he's apprehensive. Come on, Rob. There's the slider. This could be two. He waited a long time before he threw that slider.
Yeah. And you always want to save something as a pitcher to keep him a little off guard now.
Right. He adjusted well to that pitch. I mean, he read the break on it. You don't want to hit it to the pitcher like that. But
What's up? What do the fans say?
what do you mean? What do the fans say?
Oh, we don't know what anybody's saying. I guess we haven't been paying attention.
Sue watching? Hi, Sue.
Yeah, my mom checked in. Yeah,
Is my dad watching?
I can't.
Oh, I never
Lippert dad or
retweeted it on the Mammoth feed. Did it get out on Twitter anywhere?
Hi, Dad and Tom.
I don't know, but can you, when you come back, can you do it? Yeah.
We probably have Casey to see if there's anybody that's watching.
I mean, I think we have. It says 13 here. I think that might be the number of viewers. I don't really know how that works. It could just be you, me, and my mom. It's like an afternoon at the Skeeters.
Right? Oftentimes, Sue is
The only fan.
the
Yeah.
Skeeter games.
When you have time, why don't you give us an attendance count? Maybe run up to the press box and ask them what the official attendance is today.
Press box?
Yeah.
Press box.
Or you,
Is that Casey?
that's your job to find it and come back with a number of people who are watching this. We actually have more fans than we usually do. I mean, what do you think? We got 12?
I think they got 6. Maybe no, they got some that are beyond home plate. Maybe they got 8, and we have maybe another 10.
I think we've got some wives over there. I know Billy's significant other is here with the dog.
Yeah, I mean, if we're counting canine fans, we have might be breaking records.
We're well represented, yeah.
Almost a full house.
Okay, so we're in the bottom of the second. Mammoth are up 2-0. A good start. I'd say it's a little concerning. The strikeouts we've seen. I think
It's
it'll take.
early.
Yeah, I think it'll take one time, maybe 2 times through.
Pitchers mixing and matching though, so it's
Yeah, right. You're right. I mean, he may just be a really good pitcher, so we may not adjust to the point where we hit the ball over the park, and in that case, we'll need a slow curveball right over the plate, strike one. Nate, I believe, throws. I caught him at Northeast Athletic a couple times before we went down to Arizona. I was impressed with the movement on most of his pitches. He's not a guy who I didn't get the sense that his fastball's terribly straight. Fastball, slider, changeup. I don't know if he throws a slider or a curveball. Bob, you're the pitcher, so maybe you can tell us.
it feels more curveball like with the.
I think, isn't that a slider? Is that a,
Something like that.
yeah, because the first pitch was definitely a curve. It was much more of a graceful humpback.
Yeah.
That one darted more at the guy's foot. And that's where you would try to bury that slider. I don't think you'd throw a slow curveball, drop it inside like that. You'd try to clip the outer corner with that curveball. I think that's his slider. So maybe he's got 4 pitches. Okay, this is their 5-hitter. This is our first time through the order, so we haven't had a chance to get a sense of what kind of hitters these guys are. I mean, again, they put up 20-some runs last
You know,
night.
they got some bats.
Yeah.
So they're gonna put it in play if they're scoring that many runs.
Good fastball off the plate. 1-1.
Nate also has the luxury of being tall. It's always a benefit as a pitcher.
Yeah.
So
And being left-handed.
yeah, he's been dealt a good hand by nature.
Okay, this guy's a little behind on that fastball. Let's see if, what would you do here? He elevated that fastball. It's the second time that this guy's been late on it. Do you set him up for something?
I
You
would
set up
push
that
it out.
fastball with something?
I would push it out further.
Another fastball up and away? I think let me try to set him up with something here. Yeah, there's a changeup. I think he was setting him up for the next pitch, which was going to be the fastball. There's a double play. So you probably couldn't see from here, but Hans went up quite a ways to catch that. That throw was a little high, but Hans Hegerness is the best defensive shortstop. I think there's pretty much a consensus in the TC McBell community that Hans is the best that the league's ever produced. Now, that's not to say that over a period of a couple of games there may not have been someone who had minor league experience who had a cup of coffee on some team in the TC McBell, but there's certainly nobody who's played for an appreciable amount of time who has the defensive reputation that Hans has. So the guy to his left, Matt Grill, is almost as good as Hans at short. So this middle of Hans and Matt Grill it's certainly the best defensive middle that I've ever played with. And I think it's probably the best that a lot of these guys will have played with, at least on the amateur level. So we're going to have fun watching these guys this tournament, I think. Randy tells me that typically there's once a game, maybe not quite that frequency, but maybe once a game where Hans will do something where you say, no way.
Lined one into the dugout, a little high, but caused some ricochet. Some guys went scrambling. Everybody seems to be okay.
I'm also interested in watching Rob Jones play at first base because I've said before that Rob's the best first baseman I've ever played with. Again, we're talking amateur baseball here, so Rob is exceptional at first.
Little liner back up the middle that Nate took off the toe tips.
Yeah, I think that was an end of the bat or a jam job. It wasn't barreled. Nate had time to adjust to it, gloves it, so that is the end of the second. Our score is 2-0. We'll do a walkthrough maybe after this inning, get a sense of the mood of the dugout. We got a nice day today. What would you say, about 70 degrees?
I think driving in it was about 75.
About 75. It's overcast today. We've had a mix of sun and clouds. We got in, our house flew in on Thursday to San Diego. We went to this, what was it called?
Dukes in La Jolla.
Dukes in La Jolla, which was this restaurant on the beach, basically. Then we, after we had this really nice meal, we walked down to the beachfront. Rob almost got eaten by a sea lion. Or Bob did, not Rob.
Not eaten, but...
Well, if that sea lion had got a hold of you, I mean, who's going to jump in there and pull you away? I don't actually...
Absolutely none of you guys.
Yeah, right. I don't think sea lion eat... I don't think human flesh is on the sea lion diet, but... I mean, Bob Gordon, you just had a really sumptuous seafood meal, so, you know, you might have got a scent of that and just gone to work on you.
The whiff of the seared ahi.
Yeah. Well, this guy smells like a fish, yeah.
Strictly from a lunch perspective.
Bob was taking what, video? And he had his back.
Talking to the family back home.
There's two sea lions on the beach, and Bob had his back to him, and he was talking to the family back home, and a wave broke, and it kind of chased him up the beach, and he came within like 2 feet of this sea lion, and the sea lion gave him this bray, like.
It was a very aggressive bark.
So Bob just started running in our direction.
Again, nobody willing to step up and save.
There's a nice shot to right field. Okay, that was Matt Grill. First at bat of the tournament, a line drive to the second baseman, 1 out. Back to the top. So we've seen everyone in the batting order now. Back to the top of the order. Scores 2-0. We're in the top of the third. A little change up there? That must be his. I think that's his change up.
It's an off speed. It's a good pitch.
He's got a good fastball.
The
So
arm speed is consistent.
I think that fastball is getting in on these guys more quickly, and maybe it's a function of he's got that changeup mixed in there. Right now, it appears that he's got a lot of our hitters off balance with his collection of pitches. He's got a good arm. I mean, I think that's a good fastball. You know, he reminds me a little bit of Manny Marino. Remember Manny?
Yeah, I know. I think he's got a little more velocity behind that fastball, but
Start giving us away.
consistent.
I agree with you. Like, this would be a younger Manny. Like, when Manny was younger, he could pump the fastball. It's more like the build. Manny had these really long arms, and I think he generated a lot of torque with his core, and he'd fling those arms around. He could bring it. Also, one of the nicest men I've ever played baseball with, Manny Marino.
Man's the guy.
I mean, my top three, my Mount Rushmore of nice people in the TCMABL, I'd put Justin Beal on there. I'd put Manny Marino. Matt Grill might be on there too. That's just a really nice guy.
Thanks, Tom.
There's four. You didn't give me time. There's 4 heads on Mount Rushmore. We only got to 3. There's a ground ball to the right side that gets through.
Three.
Yeah, you're right. But I was going through Mount Rushmore, so
Oh.
I'm just glad you cut me off before I said the 4th, because now I can say you were going to be the 4th.
Yeah.
All right, that was a ground ball through the right side, so we got first and third, 1 out.
Hans was stealing on the pitch as well. So he was running. I think second baseman was staying home.
Okay, they're going to appeal that he missed second base. See what the umpire does. Called him safe. Okay, we're okay.
And again, it's hard. I mean, you don't ever know if that ump is watching the play coming in, or is he?
Did he see it, right?
Did he see it? I mean,
It's possible he missed it. I mean, the fact that
I'm going to say that he saw it, and it's like, yeah, he touched second base.
but the fact that they're appealing that, you don't see that very often, makes me think that maybe Hans did miss second base.
They
We'll
saw
ask him.
something.
We'll ask him when we go in there. So first and third, 1 out. Back to Nate Stark, who hit a rocket howitzer to left center. Cleared the bases. They're going to shift the left fielder to left center now. That's where Nate hit it. Nate's power, I think, is to the alleys. I think of him more as a right center hitter than a left center hitter, but we'll see. He's just an excellent hitter. Very quiet up there. At the Arizona tournament, I talked a lot about Nate's composure. It's one of the things I admire about his game. Maybe he gets rattled on the inside, but you never see it.
He's composed in life.
In real life, you're right. We're staying with Nate at our house. First and third. Top of the third. I've already lost
Top of
track.
3.
Top of 3. Mammoth are up 2-0. First and third, 1 out. Nate Stark up.
That is just out there.
That's going to be a sac fly. So he didn't hit that quite as well as he hit the last one, but he hit it deep enough out to left center. They slid that left fielder way over. Otherwise, that might drop.
That's a long run, but
Yeah.
I mean, with the lefty at the plate, you're generally moving that direction, especially after you're smoking in the gas.
So a great start to the tournament for Nate Stark. That's 3 RBIs. 2 at-bats, 3 RBIs. That's why he's batting third. Now we got our cleanup hitter, Casey Johnson. Casey struck out his first at-bat. Casey with a slightly open stance. He was playing around with a Gary Sheffield bat wig. There it is. Casey's also in the Ibex League. We play on Friday nights, and he's been working on trying to turn on the ball more and elevate it more. He hits it so hard, but he doesn't generate a lot of launch angle, which is to say the angle off his bat doesn't yield to a lot of fly balls.
Take your time.
And obviously you don't want to hit fly balls for the sake of hitting fly balls, but Casey's exit velocities are you know, they top out in the lower 90s, which is more than you need to hit a ball over a fence. But the other variable in that equation is you have to, the angle of the ball off the bat has to be such that it obviously gets in the air enough to get over a fence. Like Casey went up on that. That's a really nice piece of hitting.
I was up. Kind of fought that straight ahead.
That's the kind of pitch up and in where we saw that earlier in the game with one of their hitters. Same spot, and their hitter just wasn't strong enough to get that bat through. Casey pushed that one like that other guy did earlier in the
Casey's
game.
looking for some recognition over here.
We're going to talk about Casey's strength as a hitter as the tournament goes on, but it was really demonstrated there. He's so strong with the hands and the wrists. He got his hands between the ball, even though the pitch was up and in, and got the barrel to the ball. Oh, he's out. That's not good. That's Tom Corcoran got picked off at second base.
Trying to
3
be
outs.
aggressive with the lead. Plated 1, 3-0,
3-0 Mammoth.
bottom of 3.
Was that close? Or not even close? Not really. Okay. Yeah, the ball clearly beat him. I just didn't know if his foot got. You okay?
Umpire saying that play at second wasn't very close. Clark was pretty out. I think I heard Tom say that he got him. So I don't think that's one where Tom's going to blame the umpire. I think he's going to blame himself. He got caught leaning. Tom's a very aggressive base runner.
Having not seen the pitcher any sort of move to second, but it was a quick one. I mean, sort of, as a pitcher, you take a special pride in getting somebody at second and then be able to walk off the field.
It's probably fair to say that on this level of baseball, you know, you kind of count on pitchers not having very good moves. Like you're willing to take an extra step or two. He might not do that maybe in 18 plus if he's an ABL. He might be more willing to stray a little bit further. We're playing 35.
No chance the string cut out there for a second.
It didn't. No,
we're
just talking.
We're still live. So are you gonna?
I'll take the walk of shame.
Were you?
Oh no.
What?
Got a lot of people seeing that.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize for I was uncalled for.
Pick the fifth hitter up.
Yeah, won't happen again.
Pretty good move, right?
I was
We're talking to Tom Corcoran, who just got picked off second base.
Hey. There's no, the people saw what just happened, Tom. There's no
They
reason
don't
to
need
remind
they don't
them.
need the commentary.
Yeah, let's keep focused on the future here, okay, Tom? Ah, Jesus.
Couple of nice hits for you so far, though, Cork. Is this? What do you think about this pitcher? What can you tell us about him?
Pretty average. I feel like first
You've had
time
a-
up he was like warming up still, and so it was kind of meaty. And then he's definitely got another level that he has thrown. Like when he's struck out that 3 straight to end that first inning, he would look like a much different pitcher, much better. But
He's spotting really well.
yeah,
Yeah, we're seeing fastball,
if
slider,
he located
and then
his
single.
curveball, that first one he threw to me, I check swung on it. And out of his hand looked really good. It kept biting, and it didn't even make it to the plate.
Is it what it looks like is he's throwing that slider and then he's throwing a changeup.
Yeah.
So that's ball 4. We got a guy in first, nobody out. Mammoth up 3-0. Are we the top or the bottom? Yeah.
We are
We're
in the
the
bottom. We're the visitors here.
Okay, so this is bottom of
3-3.
bottom of 3. Okay. Bottom of 3. Mammoth up 3-0. Got a Jax on first base. Nobody out. Straight up. Gonna get out of play.
I think that's all Lip.
Started coming back, but not enough.
I'm on it.
Bob's going to get the baseball. Give me a chance to talk about Bob. Bob is having some nerve issue. I mean, not serious, but serious enough where I think it's in his leg or in his lower back. Serious enough that he can't participate on the field. So he came down and he's embraced the role of the house dad. So there's a house of 5 of us, and Bob is making our breakfast and contributing heavily to the meal preparation for dinner. And he asked all of us if we brought long sleeve shirts when we left today, because he knows it's going to get colder later tonight. So he's pitching in the way he knows how at this point, and that's to keep us hydrated and fed. Bob might be the 4th guy in my Mount Rushmore of nice guys. I've known Bob for a lot of years. Now that's similar to what Casey did, but the difference was that pitch was off the plate. It's one thing to hit a pitch like that that's up and away, barrel it to right center. It's another thing to do that on a pitch that's up and in. In order to hit a pitch up and in and barrel it to right center like that, you really got to get those hands through early to get that barrel to the ball. And then you got to be strong enough to push it out of the infield. That's what Casey did. That was a nice piece of hitting though, up and away. First and second, nobody out. It's a change up. Now Nate hasn't pitched since the tournament in October in Arizona, so we're not sure how long he's going to go this game. But there is no plan to have him start another game. I think if we get into the playoffs, it'll be a 2-game playoff. I think there would be some expectation that he might take some innings, but there's not the thought that we need to conserve his arm so much this game. I think the hope is that we can see him for 9 innings. Game 2, we're going to go with Tom Corcoran. We've got Matt Grill in the wings. The hope is that we can win the first 2 of the round robin portion. That's 3 games. Go into that 3rd game knowing that we're in the playoffs. Maybe throw a Ryan Lutzka, Mike Dahl, and save Matt Grill for the first round of the playoffs. And then the second round, which would be the championship game, would be kind of an a la carte approach. We would throw everybody out there, anybody out there who's got an arm left, and try to win that second one. So that's the schedule for the pitching. We'll see if we can stick to it. It's a nice curveball. That was a very controlled swing at that curveball. He followed it in. I think it would have led to a ground ball. Let's see what Nate throws here. Another curveball. So he went down and in with that curve. Maybe that's his slider. And that pitch was another off speed, off the plate. This guy's leaning out over the plate a little bit. I wonder if he busts him in with a fastball. There it is. Yeah, he did. Ooh. That's a backhand that ate Hans up a little bit. I think Hans got... I think he didn't get it on the right hop. It's kind of a soft chopper to his backhand side. I think he was trying to circle around it so he could field it and be moving in the direction of the third base bag, because he was going to flip it to the third base bag. And I think that line may have contributed to that error. Nobody out, bases loaded. This is a big moment for us, the Mammoth. Mammoth are up 3-0. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. It's a good swing. That pitch disappeared into his ankles, but he put a really nice swing on that. Called a ball. Batter shaking his head no, like that wasn't a strike. The umpire agreed. He put a really nice swing on a whatever Nate's throwing, curve, slider, down and in. I think this guy's a good hitter. That's what he got him the first time with. That's an out.
Must have been the 3rd. He was sort of questioning whether that was a big strike.
I think that guy's a decent hitter. I think that was a nice sequence by Nate. I'm not sure where we're in the order.
I think we're back to the top.
So that's the bottom of the order?
Which, I mean, doesn't always Ooh,
Oh
wow.
boy, that's in. Who do we got in left? I think that's Casey.
Casey's out left.
All right, Casey catches, throws. Held him at third base. Nice play by Casey. Casey's kind of a jack of all defensive trades this tournament, or he's going to be.
I think left field might be one of his maybe least favorite
Yeah.
positions.
He plays on the Skeeters, and he's really primarily an infielder, but he does play some outfield for us. It's a nice catch, though. Ran in quite a bit, made the catch, held the guy at third base, so this is a big out. This is a big at bat for
Two
them.
outs now.
Bases loaded, nobody to bases loaded, 2. They need a hit here. I think this might be their 2-hitter, so
Yeah, I'm going with that 2-hitter.
they're in the part of the order. This guy's probably a very competent hitter.
Yeah.
Nate's really working that pitch down and in.
He's gone to that quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a good pitch.
Lip caught Nate Stark down in Arizona, so he's familiar with what Nate throws. There's a fastball. Come on, Nate. Come on. Hans, yep. Catch still out.
Hit it hard, just straight at Hansi.
Hit it at the wrong guy. He barreled that one on the ground to Hans, but Hans went down to a knee. Basically,
Had to put that upper 80 exit velocity.
yeah. Let's walk through. I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough here.
Go for it.
We're gonna check in with the guys. Here are the fans, more than we're accustomed to seeing usually.
They
Thomas.
Doors here? That's gotta go.
Attaboy. Yep. Got some music going.
Not gonna remind me to go.
It's just breaking like where it's impossible to hit, right? It's either low or it's like the bottom corner. It's that part of the string. A lot of horizontal. Yeah. Right?
It's a good at bat. You fought. The pitch that you hitting at the double play, I thought you made a good adjustment on that. That broke late. It was the first time you saw the slider. Everything else was straight. He finally busted out that slider, which is a good pitch for him. But you adjusted to it. Like you made an adjustment as you swung. I thought it was a good at bat. You just hit it the wrong guy.
Pitches off.
Yeah.
It really did.
It's a process, not result. Because if I just take that for a strike, next guy's up. You know, but I made the adjustment, ended the inning.
I told him I set the bar for him with my strikeout, and he said, "Okay, I'll come in under that."
Yeah. What do you think of this pitcher? Pretty good? Or are you just
He's around the zone.
Yeah.
He's a little sneaky fast.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of Barbella, right? Doesn't seem overpowering, but
Barbella's got a totally different motion that sells. His change of speeds, his fastball, and it's like something else. So that's the weird thing about Barbella that I think is, in my mind, something that I try to visualize. But
Tom, you think you could
speed-wise, maybe.
tell the viewers about Barbella for the uninitiated?
Yeah.
Tom, I've been using your outfield glove.
For real?
Yeah.
All right.
So,
So
do you keep your pointer finger in the glove, right?
yeah,
All
never
wired
take it
the
out.
same way.
Yeah. Yeah, well now it's not too big right now, is it? Now it's comfortable, isn't it? It's like a security blanket
But
up
I'm in
there.
outfield, yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on. I mean, otherwise I'm wearing a shortstop or a second baseman's glove. and
You can
it's-
cover half the
you
outfield
bop
just
one
by
around
standing
and
there.
You
Yeah.
get to it and it gets in your glove and pops out because there's not much to it. But this thing's a huge clam.
It is. It's like a giant clam that you find in the ocean.
Catch clutching a pearl.
How's the stream going, Tom? You getting the jitters out? You settling in? doing
Yeah,
this
we're
groove?
settling in. We're finding my groove. I got Bob over there, which is really nice. So it's a lot of fun having Bob there. Bob's giving me like some perspective on the pitchers that I normally wouldn't have. Billy looks like
Really
struck
chased
out
one
on
out.
it, chased one off the plate. All
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna get back
go,
on my
Liddy.
home plate.
Okay.
And I apologize for the mustache. Yeah, to the guy on the mic.
Oh, wait, leave that shit.
Hey, Randy. Nice hit. I knew you were gonna react that way. I had to say it though. Yeah. It's a pretty good pitcher, right? So we got one out. Ryan, let's get the plate. We were talking to Rob Jones and Casey Johnson, a couple of Skeeter teammates. They're also in the house that Bob and I are in. Okay, here we go. We got one out. So That's going to drop. It's going to drop. Base hit by Ludi. Base hit to right field for Ryan Lutzka. Whatever it takes. Ludi will be happy with that. Well, they may not be thrilled with the quality of the hit, but the fact that he got on base. I told Randy I thought he was going to hit a home run this tournament. We'll see.
Like Ludi sort of just fought that off. And
Yeah, I didn't see. I saw the flight of the ball makes me think it was down and away, and he kind of was he kind of released early with that front shoulder and kind of flailed at it because he didn't hit it very hard. There's that changeup.
one thing I would never start a batter with a changeup.
Really?
Oh, my fastball's not good enough.
This guy's got a fastball. You can do that with, though, right? Come on, Randy, get into one. Oh, that was his pitch. That was his pitch.
Randy wanted that right
That
there.
was his pitch, yeah. He's looking up at the sky. Thinking, how did that happen? He's going to talk about that one later today, I think.
I think the pitcher realized it too.
I mean, that looked like right down the middle.
Yeah, where Randy was just going to pull out and just was going to run down the line.
0-2. He's got 3 pitches to choose from. I think he's seen the fastball and the changeup. Does he throw the third, the slider? I think that's a changeup. Attaboy, Randy. There's a rocket down the right field line. It's getting past the right fielder. Ludi's going to score. I think Randy's going to get. Randy's legging for third.
Yeah.
That's a triple by Randy.
Standing triple.
That was a seed. That's the hardest ball of the day. That was probably harder than Nate Stark's. Comparable.
I mean, Nate Starks was in the air. I mean, where...
Yeah. 1 out. 1 out. Yeah, but if that's one where if Randy gets the launch angle that Nate Stark had, I think it's over the fence.
Possibly, but if you look at the outfield, you can tell that it stops being green, where I think the sprinklers cut out. It's very dry along that line, and so that thing just ran for days. Thankfully, it hit a fence.
It's like that old Sonic the Hedgehog game where you hit the arrows and then you just take off. That's kind of what that area is out there.
Yeah.
If this were a video game.
Yeah, and I don't think the right
Like a
fielder
booster.
had a fine angle on it. I think it just took off once it got through the green.
Yeah, we are winning. It's Mammoth. Someone just asked for winning. Mammoth are up now 4-0.
Yeah. This will be top 4.
We scored 2 in the first. A Nate Stark bases clearing double. Guys were on first and second. Then we had a sac fly by Nate his next time up. And then Randy just drove in a guy from first base with a triple. Second time Lip's gone down on strikes. That time he did not look back at the umpire.
That was...
I think he knew.
That was a good pitch. I think he wasn't expecting that fastball on the side there.
This would be a big moment for Rob if he can get Randy in with 2 outs.
Great spot for Rob Jones.
We talked to Rob Jones between innings. Talked about how he fought through that at bat. He's choking up on the bat here. One thing I've noticed in the cage with Rob is sometimes he doesn't get that front foot down in time, which causes him to hit the ball too deep in the zone, and he'll hit a lot of ground balls. He get kind of bound up with his swing. We'll see. We'll
For
see.
a tall guy, he's close to the plate.
He is. Okay, it's good contact. It's not
Like
bad.
a little bit off the end.
Yeah, he got the barrel through the zone though. He was on time with that. He just hit under the baseball. Good to see Randy get that hit. What inning are we in now? Top of the 5th?
No, we
Bottom
are
of 4?
visitors, so it's bottom 4.
Bottom 4, Mammoth up 4-0. Facing a team that won something like 20-something to something last night. And the
I think,
team...
it would've been about I think they won by 1 dozen.
Oh, it was it? So the other... Yeah.
Maybe even more. All I remember is that They were in the 20s, and the opposing team was single digits, I think is what I heard.
So we'll play the team these guys played last night in Flatton. We'll play them tomorrow, our third game of the round robin. So there's 3 divisions down here, 3 divisions of 4 teams in the 35-plus tournament. And you play every team in your division once. And the top 2 teams in each division make it to the playoffs. And then the best 2 records among the rest of the teams make the playoffs. So it's an 8-team playoff, top 2 from each division, and then the next 2 best records.
Which makes for a quick tournament.
Yes, yeah, this is very unlike the Arizona experience in that, you know, we're going to be 2/3 of the way through the tournament after when we leave tonight. So it's very much more of a sprint than a marathon. But if we can win 2 of 3, we're going to get into the playoffs guaranteed. If we go 1 and 2, the tie break, since we won't have head-to-head, the other 1 and 2 teams we won't have played them, the tie break goes to runs against. So if you lose, you don't want to give up a lot of runs. That's how most of these national tournaments work, which is smart because it discourages teams from trying to put up huge numbers on other teams. I mean, you want to do that because you may be in some kind of tie-break situation with the team you're playing, but there's less of it doesn't become gratuitous. You don't have the incentive to score a lot of runs built into the scoring system. You have an incentive to discourage runs. I don't think there's a lot. They come through, and I'm not seeing a lot.
Every time I'm not out there, Casey gets the ball hit to him. I'll go check on my phone. See if he's...
Casey's got an enormous glove out there. Whose glove is that? Look at the size of that glove. It is
he borrowing a glove, or does he have a second?
It's my glove.
Oh, wow.
It is comically large.
I'm hoping he put new shoelaces in
I mean,
the gloving for him.
I know it's big, but looking at it from here, it really is absurd.
50% glove out and left.
I've often wondered what it looks like when I'm pitching, when I'm using that glove. I mean, I can't even imagine what that looks like. So I have what I
Give
think.
the batter a great batter's eye.
Yeah, right. I think I use what's basically a softball glove from an outfield glove, and like a large softball glove, so it's massive.
Like he's using kind of a bigger glove too.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Like you can play anything, any position.
So we're in bottom of the 4th, 1 out.
Nice.
Line shot, Mike Dahl gloves it.
How are we doing on time?
It's a good question.
I'll go check my phone for time.
We've been moving pretty quickly.
It's unlucky. Batter barreled that one. That was really well struck, but
I mean, they haven't had a lot of long innings.
kind of a sinking liner right into Mike's glove. Mike barely had to move, so we got lucky there. 2 outs.
I put game time closer to the hour.
As we were walking through the dugout, I didn't want to linger too long on Nate and Mike's conversation because I don't know if the other team is actually watching the stream. I doubt it, but there's a chance. But one thing I did hear them talking about was that pitch right there, the pitch that is breaking in on the batters, basically breaking in between the knees and the ankles, back foot. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. That's a baseball terminology I was looking for. That's why we have the game Bob Gordon in the booth with us today. But what I heard Mike Lippert say was it's ending up in a place where they can't hit it, and I think he's right. I mean, I think they found a place. There it is again, that pitch. Pitch is breaking down and in, and they're putting good swings on it. They just are not hitting it. I think Mike thinks no pitch is unhittable, but it's a very difficult pitch to hit given where it's breaking in its flight. Catch throw, 3 outs. It's a can of corn for a guy like Hans.
Just effortless out there.
Effortless.
End of 4, 4-0. It's deceiving with the cloud cover. It feels like it's getting dark on this.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be getting, what, do you start at 3? I mean, it gets dark, what, at 5:30? It's probably getting close to 4. It feels like we're going pretty fast, though. So we can't start an inning after 2.5 hours, but I think we're probably on pace for a full 9 innings without running in any kind of time issue. Although that's pretty aggressive. Like, you can't start an inning after 2.5 hours, you know? That's really shortening the game. Like, usually it's 2 hours, 45 minutes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What they are doing though is they're stacking games up one after the other. So we play at 3 and then again at 6. So there is no delay where, you know,
You
if
can't
you
have a 3-hour game because then that's just going to delay the start of the next, which will delay the start of the next.
so you can't start an inning in 2 hours and 45 minutes because that could very easily go beyond 3 hours, and you have to be done at 3 hours. So. Are you going to go up for the stolen portion part of the stream? That's where, as a streamer, you go through the handshake line and get congratulations from the other team, like you did something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would look weird if I was not going through the line.
Yeah, well, that's why I do it. Right, like I don't want to appear standoffish, but I also, when they say good game and attaboy,
I also don't want to be given credit for a good game.
Right. And we got to win this one first, of course, but I felt that way all in Arizona. Like, should I really be going through this line?
I mean, win, lose, or draw, it's a good game. I mean,
that's true.
That's sportsmanship.
That's true.
But
got Matt Grill leading off. Matt's bottom of the order. Then we flip over to the top and Hans. I was talking to Matt in the batting cage before the game. I was doing some front toss with these guys, and I remarked to Matt how well he was turning on the baseball, and he said that's something he feels like he's done better this year than he ever has, but it led to a lot of hard outs. And he joked, I just need to hit the flares to right field. He's really good at that right there.
That was, stayed down on it, might foul.
Foul ball. The guy, I mean, a lot of the people out here have no idea who I'm talking about, but the guy Matt reminds me of a hitter a little bit is Chris Gigstad of the Wobblies. Gigstad made a living off of taking the ball to right field. I mean, you face Gigstad a lot as a pitcher.
Yeah, he's often taken me to right field.
He can turn on a baseball, but Gigstad looks to right first.
Always a hard out.
Yeah. And I think, and notwithstanding the fact that Matt's found something with turning on a baseball, I think he's most comfortable letting that ball get deep and riding it to right field. That was just a nice changeup.
That was a great changeup. That was down, just disappeared.
Back to the top, Hans. Mammoth are up 4-0, and we're in the top of the fifth.
Top of the fifth, yes.
Game is moving along. We don't have any little flare to right. Right fielder's playing really shallow. Makes the catch, 2 outs. We don't have any player participation rules in this tournament, meaning we don't have to bat 14 guys. If you followed the action down in Arizona this year, every team had to bat 14. And it really does change the way that you put a lineup together. We don't have to worry about that in this tournament, so that's straight up the chimney.
Pretty high.
Right field. It's a tough catch, but he's going to make it. Catch the outs. Clark just missed that one. So we don't have to worry about getting 14 guys in, so I think you're going to see Randy let these guys soak a little bit more and, get the bench guys in as starters rather than trying to cycle them in during the game. I think defensively you'll see some turnover. We've already seen it. We saw Mike at third take over for Ryan Lutzka. Ryan's going back out there now. And we've seen Casey out in left field taking over for Cork. So
How many viewers are we up to? 300-400?
I see a 17. I think that's the number of viewers. Yeah, it's a good number. I'm just happy when
Have we started that OnlyFans yet?
No.
Mammoth OnlyFans.
That
Coming soon.
that can be your thing. But so Nate looks pretty comfortable out there, right?
It's always, absolutely looks comfortable. He hasn't thrown a lot of innings in the past 3 months, so it's always a question of durability and this time of year.
You wonder if they're going to make, well, first of all, you wonder if they're good enough hitters to hit that pitch that he keeps getting them out on, and if they're going to make the adjustment, and if Nate's going to have to counter adjust. You got two really smart people as the Mammoth battery today. I mean, Lip's really cerebral back there, and Nate's just smart in real life and baseball. I mean, so is Lip. But in a game of cat and mouse, I like their chances. What's
It was
up?
high. Like, you definitely got some height.
So how close were you on that? We're talking a quarter.
Right on the barrel.
Yeah,
Terrible
look at-
part of the bat.
yeah.
Terrible part of the ball. Just hung me a curveball first pitch. Shouldn't hit a weak fly ball on a hanging curveball first pitch. Regardless, here starts making a case for the double mid player of the game.
Well, yeah, he's driven in 3.
Exactly.
He's got this pitch working that's breaking in on these hitters, back foot, and they have no answer for it. I bet he throws it right here. No, that's a fastball. Hans, catch, step, throw. Rob Jones with the scoop.
Like Rob's
Went out.
show of the every time he catches it, he gives it a nice.
It looked like
show.
a scoop, but it was more the dramatics of
Yeah.
the man named Rob Jones.
I'm sure he's a little nervous over there right now. I mean, I've talked a lot about his defense, so that's why he's here.
Isn't there a way to see comments? There, yeah. Hey, bros. Yeah. You getting that?
I have a hard time reading that because I don't have my glasses.
Your glasses on your head.
Yeah, I know. But
Sue says, "Hey guys, good luck." Hero Please says, "Hey Mark." Oh, Mark Von Ruden. Hey, Mark's here. Dugout party. Glorious mustaches. Nice. That's Casey. Nice. I don't know who 2CMABL would be.
might be Matt Stengel.
Might be Stengel. Yeah. All right. Some good chatter there. Good chatter.
Yeah, we got some guys with some mustache game this tournament. It's that pitch he buried again. That one wasn't quite on the back foot, but he buried it in front of the plate. Batter swung through and missed it. Went out.
It's tough, that pitch, because you're looking at it, and then all of a sudden it just cuts down more than maybe they're anticipating. I mean, there's been, nobody's leaving it when they're throwing it where they want.
They're on time with it too. That's what.
Nice pitch.
It's got to have a lot of movement and hitting the right spot because they're not fooled by it. They're just they're missing it.
One of my favorite Tom G quotes on stream that he says every stream is, "We're going to talk about that over the hot tub tonight." So what have been the moments that we're going to talk about in the hot tub tonight?
There was a pickoff.
Ooh.
Well, the talk of.
I don't remember that play, so we're not going to be able to talk about that one.
Well, I mean, Nate's obviously the performance Nate is having. There's going to be a lot of talk
That
about
bases
that.
loaded with their leadoff and 2-hitter coming
Yeah,
out.
and nobody
That was-
out.
yeah.
Nobody out there.
So there's not nobody out 9-1-2.
Yeah.
What was it? Strikeout, fly out, ground out.
Yeah.
Just huge.
And that two-batter put a good swing on it.
Yeah.
It was just
Step
straight
right
at
to
Hans.
Hans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nate just feels like he's in control, right? Like in command.
Yes,
pitch.
sir. Good job, Nate.
Good pitch, Nate.
Another changeup.
Top 6 now?
It's really got them
Top six.
off balance.
Start Casey. Randy did.
Randy hit that one hard, huh?
Oh my God, a triple?
Yeah.
Beauty. Was there something like, I feel like there was extra time. Was he just playing shallow, or did it kind of bounce weird over there in the corner?
Took off once it hit.
It hit the
green
trampoline.
grass,
Hit the
it
trampoline out
seems
there.
like it's really.
The right fielder maybe took a kind of
I
a
think the
banana
angle
route.
was fine, but all of a sudden it just shot.
I think he might be as old as I am too. He took a bad line and
That was
then
a stand-up, like he been a couple steps faster. He could have pushed
Yeah.
that one for potential inside the Parker. As I was saying earlier, you use up your inside the Parker game one, and you're cashed for the rest of the tourney.
yeah. Randy doesn't get around the bases quite as well as you do. You
don't
might
want-
have made a run at him inside the park on that one.
Like you said, we don't want a Randy ankle injury or something
Right.
in game one.
Right.
That haunt him for the Federal League season.
Randy's somebody who, if he gets on time, you know, he gets that hit, he could be on fire this tournament. He's the one guy you want hitting early, more than anybody maybe.
Wow, Tom, I miss you too.
Is your child's name Beatrix?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just said she misses me.
Oh. I'm guessing she doesn't miss you.
No, it said I miss you, and I'm the one talking, so.
Tom's just
I miss you
becoming-
too, Beatrix. But we never met.
I doubt
Half of the
she's.
great mustache is in the booth now.
Yeah.
I don't believe Beatrix is watching them.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tom, are you worried it's gauche to be standing behind home plate for the opposing pitcher?
Well, actually, you guys, I mean, I told them it was just going to be us two. No, yeah, you guys maybe shouldn't be back here.
Okay, Tom.
I'm sorry.
I see.
I'm sorry. But when we're batting, you should feel, or when they're batting, you should feel free to be back. There's a long fly ball to center field.
That just tails.
Center fielder cuts over.
That was a tough play.
Yeah, that ball had a lot of
It
tail.
just continued to sail.
Nate is on time. That's 3 balls to left center barreled. Here's Casey. Yeah, Casey's got a mustache that I compare to Al Hraboski. I don't know how many children of the 80s are out there, but as a child of the 80s who collected baseball cards, Al Hraboski had this Fu Manchu, it's more like a handlebar mustache. He was known as the Mad Hungarian. So his mustache comp, I think, is Al Hraboski. You can Google that one.
That is.
There's a shot to center. Oh, that's so typical of what happens to Casey. I mean, it's comical. It's comical how often he does that.
Again, launch angle, that guy's catching it standing up. If his launch angle is higher.
Yeah, but I mean, with a proper launch angle, it's over his head. It's everybody talks about how they get unlucky. You know, as a hitter, when that happens, you say, man, that always happens. Why don't they ever fall in? I've never played with somebody who that happens to more than Casey. And it happens in Ibex, too, in our indoor baseball stuff. There's a sky pop up to short. That's going to be 3
Billy
outs.
wants that one back.
Yeah, Billy just missed that one. Little golf shot. Trying to get pumped up over on the other side. Then Rob's got a mustache too going. I compared that to Mark Spitz, the old Olympic gold medalist. I think there was something else that happened to Mark Spitz. I don't remember what it was. Maybe something tragic. So I don't want to bandy about his name too much. I didn't do my research. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a tweet out there and say, hey, look who we ran into in Palm Springs. Al Hraboski and Mark Spitz. But we didn't think anybody would really get the references. So that was just a personal joke.
Yeah, for your ribbies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good shot. You don't have that glare today, so I think it's a good shot. Hey, nice hit.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I saw the second baseman like this to the right here.
Yeah. And then
made me
that thing
mad.
just took off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get. I mean, that's lower 90s.
I want to hit without launch, like get some launch.
Yeah, that's a home run.
It was a 2-strike kind of like, but I wasn't mad.
Yeah.
Cork did think that maybe you should have tried.
So Randy was the one who hit the triple. He said that he saw right before that pitch the second baseman was waving the right fielder in, like, come in.
You're rounding second, it's like starts to grab a little
Yeah,
bit.
and I was like,
okay.
I mentioned this morning when we were talking over breakfast that Randy has, Randy's a very strong guy, but he's a shorter guy. And I think when you got a guy like that in the 7-hole, you're going to get the reactions that we saw from the second baseman. Like, well, come in. This is a smaller guy. He's not going to hit the ball. They don't know that Randy's one of the best hitters that the TCMA has ever produced. One of my favorite people, too. I think if I had a Mount Rushmore of charismatic guys from the TCMA, I'd put Randy on there. He's one of the most likable people I've ever come across. So what are we in here, Bob? The bottom of the 5th?
Bottom of the 5th, they maybe I haven't noticed, but I think they just threw on the lights.
Yeah, you're right. Lights are on. Bottom of the 5th, Mammoth are up 4-0.
It might be bottom of the 6th.
I was impressed with this guy. No, this was the guy I was impressed with right here. Even though he's
He had a good at bat last time.
the bottom hitter. He was the first guy I noticed where Nate and Lippert were going aggressively at that back foot, and I was impressed that this guy was on time with it. Now, since that at bat, he was on time with it, but he was missing it. Since that at bat, I've noticed that everybody seems to be on time with that pitch. They're just not hitting it. So maybe it lowers my estimation a little bit of this guy. That was a fastball he probably should have hit. But he had chased that ball down and in the last at bat. So that's just Mike Lippert knowing his hitters, right? I mean, this guy had chased an off-speed pitch down and in last at bat twice. So he starts him off with a high fastball. Let's see where he goes here. Let's go back down and in. He came back with a fastball. Ooh. Okay, that was it's a ground ball to Matt. I think what happened there, that was about a 2-hopper to Matt. Hit fairly hard. I think Matt was distracted by the base runner because when he fielded, he was kind of fielding it on his heels, kind of leaning back.
I think it almost hit blue.
Yeah, I think it was shielded by somebody, right?
I think it was shielded by the umpire.
The way
the umpire's where he's supposed to be.
The way he fielded it, kind of leaning back, he didn't pick it up, so he was giving himself more time to pick it up, and he was just not in a good position to catch it. Okay, I think we're back at the top of the order now, yes.
Yep, we're back to the top. Which I think this is probably where they do a lot of their damage.
So the guy was just up. I had a high estimation of him first at bat. Then it dropped a little bit, but then it's recovered now. He got a hit. There's the pitch that it's been his moneymaker. Batter shakes his head. What am I swinging at that for?
We've all done that.
I think a professional hitter just recognizes that that's a pitch he's not going to hit and just lays off it. But we're not professional hitters, so we jump out at it because it looks so meaty. There he went out and away with his, I think that's his two-seamer. That's got a little cut, so it breaks a little bit away from a righty. I mentioned earlier I've caught Nate a little bit. I don't like catching because I can't see the ball anymore, but these pitches move a lot. There's a fly ball down the left field line. Clark giving chase, going to fall out of play. Nate's built like a kind of a power lefty. I mean, he's got good size. He's got to be 6'3", 6'4". But I classify him more as a finesse pitcher than a power pitcher. I mean, I think he would agree with that. He doesn't have what you consider a power arm. What he has is he's got a couple of pitches. He's got good command. And he's just very composed. I was going to use the word moxie, but moxie is something I'd use for somebody who, I wouldn't use that word for Nate Stark. I'd use composed. Moxie is a guy who maybe plays above his talent level. I don't think Nate is playing above his talent level. I think he's a talented guy. He doesn't need to get by in moxie because he's got enough talent to get him by. If I had to pick one guy on this team who gets by in moxie, it might be Rob Jones. Not the most talented individual on the baseball field, but he does the job in ways that surprise you sometimes. There's that pitch again, buried on the back foot. Nate keeps going back to it because they are not hitting it. Got first and second. I think there's just one out. And I think it's the bottom of the fifth. When Bob comes back, we'll get some verification on that. It's a fastball up and away. Again, the two-seamer. I can really see that break from here. I'm sure you can't pick it up on the stream, but it's got a nice little cut to a lefty. I bet that's really a tough pitch for lefties to hit. Not quite as effective against righties. Nate throws it there. He basically starts that middle out, and I think he's trying to get guys to chase it. That one just broke off. Okay, we're having a defensive replacement. We got nobody out, bases loaded. Okay, this is kind of an important moment. This is our 2-hitter, so we got Lutzka going out to third base and Mike Dahl coming in. I think the plan is probably to warm Mike up. Mammoth are a little thin at pitching in this tournament. Bob Gordon was going to pitch, but he's on the IR. There's that pitch again. So the bullpen, I think, is mostly going to consist of Mike Dahl. Again, the hope was that we could get 9 out of Nate, but we may be, the perception in the dugout may be that Nate's running out of gas. I think he's still throwing the ball well, though. That's a pitch this guy's got to hit. I mean, that was his pitch. That pitch was a fastball. A little low, but it caught a lot of the plate. Just fouled it off. So he goes back to the well again. There it is again. Beatrix, you're not bothering. If that message is for me, you're not bothering me. It's nice to have people say something on the chat. It reminds us that it must have been a hit by pitch. It reminds Bob and I that we're not just talking into the wind. You just chime in whenever you want to. Bob isn't here right now, or I'd have him take the camera here and say hello to you. I'll do that. When Bob comes back, I'll have him step in. Okay, we've got 1 run in. This is their 3-hitter. This is the moment of the game for the Mammoth so far, I would say, at least defensively. Bases loaded, nobody out. Presumably their best hitter. Bob, you're getting a request from Beatrix to say hello.
Yeah, she's got Google chat, so she's very interested in how things are going over in Palm Springs.
Oh, well, you should tell her, because I think she'd like to hear that from you.
Come on!
Again,
Good hustle.
She's not watching the stream. It's like text messages that must be coming through.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Just being displayed on the phone. So.
Okay. So we just took credit for a viewer that we shouldn't have taken credit for. Because I was talking about how it was nice to have someone watching us.
Well, we got 19, it looks like.
Yeah, but she's not even hearing me.
No. She's
What?
10.
What a disappointment.
Well, if you're disappointed by the number of people that are not watching this time, then you are not sleeping tonight.
I thought we had a 10-year-old fan hanging on her every word. It turns out she's not even aware that the stream is happening. I'm just picking up the text on the phone. This is Bob's phone because mine doesn't work down here. Let's get back to the game. Let's leave that behind and move forward. So I think the count is 2-1. We had a pass ball there a moment ago, and Lip chased it down, kept it at third base. There's a ground ball. This should be 2. Excellent.
We scored 1, so
We'll take that though, right?
So it's 4-2 now. Correct?
4-2, 2 out. So that was a 4-6-3 double play. Pretty routine ground ball to Mac Grill. That's one that they're going to turn 95% of the time, probably.
That's almost a carbon copy of the one that they didn't turn before.
They didn't turn before? Oh, yeah.
Right.
But because Grill got shielded, right? The Grill got screened. It was he was like a defensive back, and he was screened by the offensive players. Batter pounds the bat with emphasis and then does that. Now he's looking in the dugout and smiling.
He took a swing at it.
Yeah, you pound the bat and just say, I mean business now. You take a manly cut, and then you have to look into the dugout and kind of just say, yeah, that didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. It was a foul ball.
If he doesn't look at it first, then they're going to...
Yeah, right.
The dugout's going to give it to him.
You have to lean into it at that point, right? You have to own it.
Yeah.
It softens the
You guessed
needle.
on the pitch selection, and
These guys, I think these guys are pretty good hitters. It doesn't surprise me if they score as many runs as they did. They seem like pretty good guys. It's been a good experience so far, I think.
All we want.
No,
here.
yeah, no chippiness, no. I talked to their manager before the game about the stream, and he couldn't have been more gracious and generous.
So much so that they wanted to watch the stream as we were streaming.
Yeah. So that was one you saw Nate walk off the mound. That was another one of the back foot sliders or curveballs that Nate thought was strike 3. The umpire did not agree. It makes this kind of a bigger at bat, because if this guy gets a hit, Nate's going to feel like he got him, and the umpire missed it. So it's going to hurt a little bit more. 2 outs, man on third, scores 4-2. We are in the bottom of the 5th, the bottom of the 6th.
I think it's 6. I should know.
Yeah, I just missed on that one. That was another back foot slider that.
It started in and came in versus like starting down the middle and breaking down.
Got to get this guy 4-2. So this man on third, got to leave him there. Okay. Fastball up and out. I know Mike Dahl was warming up. I don't know what the intention is there.
I think it's just get him loose.
I just got a little news alert that tsunami waves over 4 feet high just hit the U.S. coast. Do you think we're safe? Apparently there's some volcanic eruption. You think it's going to travel all the way?
I think the warning is for Hawaii.
Oh. Well, they said U.S. coast. Usually that refers to. I mean that Hawaii has a U.S. coast, but I think we're hundreds of miles off of the coast. I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, we are more or less in the desert, right? I mean,
a 4-foot wave isn't going to get all the way out here. Nate up 2 strikes. This is where I imagine you've been there as a pitcher, where you're tired and maybe you don't have that out pitch that you had earlier in the game. So you reach back a little bit more?
Or too, like you're really trying to nibble at something here, like making chase, at least for me.
No, it's terrible. Lipp's done a really good job on that pitch. But that one...
That's impossible.
Yep. That one just... Nate spiked that one. 4-3. We really do want to win this game, because it would take the pressure off of us game 2, especially those of us who are going to be playing game 2. Come on, let's get this guy. That's going to be a hit. It's a line drive to right center. Yeah, Nate left that one up. I don't know that he really left that one up. I mean, that pitch, that little cutter off the plate, he's been throwing it there, but he's been off the plate enough that they haven't been able to barrel, they haven't been able to get enough of the bat on it to do what he just did, which is take that pitch up and away to right field. They were laying off that pitch a lot, though. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change. All right, it's 4-4. Got Mike Dahl. I think there is a hope that if the game is close and it's late and we need an inning, we can get that out of Matt Groh. So I think Randy's going out to talk to Matt right now. It's too early to bring him in now. But Matt's got enough of a rubber arm that I think the hope is that we can use him in relief, in late relief, not extended middle relief, and still have enough arm left in him when he pitches, whenever he pitches for us, which could be game 3 tomorrow, or if we've got a glide path into the playoffs. We would hold him off until the first game of the playoffs, which would happen later tomorrow afternoon. It would be our second game tomorrow. But we got to get to the playoffs first. Here we got Mike Dahl. Mike, a longtime Cardinal. Traveled a lot with the 25-plus team that went down. It's been going down to the Arizona fall tournament for many years. Played a lot of third base for them, I know. I think he did some pitching for them. I don't know how much he pitched. Mike had a pivotal start for us in our championship run down in Arizona. He pitched against what I thought was the best team we faced, the Long Island Cardinals. We faced a Puerto Rican team that was a division up. By that I mean they played down. They were in a 35. They were in a 35 division that allowed pro players, so they actually played one game in in our division, and they were our opponent. They were our upper division opponent. We actually beat them, but I actually thought the Long Island team that Mike faced in the playoffs and beat was better than that Puerto Rican team. And Mike did a really nice job in that game. Pitched a complete game, kept him off balance. We'll see if he can bring the same level of effectiveness to this California tournament.
Come on, George! Sácala, sácala, sácala!
I just suck a lot, man. Starts off with the fastball.
Good start.
Right away, I can tell from our vantage point here that Mike doesn't have the cut. I mean, he's a righty, so he's not going to have the same cut, but that fastball's straighter than Nate's is. That's 2 fastballs in a row. I haven't seen Mike from back here enough to really know what he throws. We've seen 2 fastballs. Let's see what Mike stepping outside. Yep. Try to bury something down and away. Probably a slider. The game is now tied. It's 4-4. I think we're in the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs, man on first.
Good spot. Having a low ball.
Are there 2 strikes on this guy?
Yeah. 2 and 2.
Umpire decided not to ring him up on that one. I think he could have. Very close. Come on, Mike. Put him away. Right back at us.
Good little breaking ball. I think batter was expecting it.
The umpire motioning that ball was enough off the plate inside. I mean, you kind of want to say he gave the batter that first close pitch. It's our turn to get that close pitch, but this umpire, I think, has done a really good job, and that's going to drop. With a flare to left field, that drops. Hans made a valiant effort, but he couldn't make the over the shoulder catch on it. So first and second 2 outs. That was an end of the bat, little flare. Mike did a good job there. He got a little unlucky, I think, with.
He didn't hit it hard.
Did not hit it hard, and then I think both Mike, Mike Dahl and Mike Lippert, thought that one of those 2 pitches at least was a strike. I've been impressed with this umpire, though, right?
Yeah,
I think he's doing a really nice job.
Later on in the game, like if he keeps throwing and spotting that same pitch, like does he start to open that up a little bit? You know, he's new, so.
That's a good point. I mean, the umpire's learning.
That's a good start.
But Mike's pitch, his sequences and his stuff, just like we are. So you're right. That looked a little high to me, but maybe not. I mean, he left it up there. It was a hanger. Thought it was a little high, but called a strike. 1 strike. Mike's pumping some fastballs in there. Yeah, the guy we're going to miss this tournament, in addition to Bob, who might be actually pitching right now if he weren't injured, is Ken Wengler. Ken's the guy who you don't need. Ken is your middle relief. I mean, he can be your starter and your closer too if you need him to be, but...
And then start the next game.
Yeah. Kenny couldn't make this trip though. This is the first trip I've ever been on without Ken. I texted him yesterday how strange it was not to have.
Like, do we need to get into that? I mean,
How strange it was not to have him in the house.
I haven't traveled nearly as much, but again, Ken is always a presence in the place.
I think Mike got away with one there. That one was right down the middle. Batter shaking his head like, yep, I'm on it. I'll get it. Full count. Runners are going to be activated. It's another big moment in the game. Sorry, losing the shot here. Where are the bathrooms, Bob?
Straight through center field.
You're kidding me. The umpire motioning low. Did you think that was? I thought that might have been off the plate too, but I wasn't really looking that closely.
We have a lot of those that are sort of between, like right at the chin, like just at or just below the knee. That, you know.
The umpire.
We haven't seen a lot of those called because they were swinging at all those that Nate was throwing in and out.
Yeah. It's a good first pitch fastball.
At the knees inside.
Lip really wanted that last one. Oh no. All right, there's a Ludi up there. Nice little hop. Is that really the only bathroom here?
That I've seen, yeah, I think so.
I mean, there's no trees. Like I can just discreetly disappear in the tree and then come out 3 minutes later like I just was searching for my car keys or something, right?
We are live streaming.
All right, I'm gonna have to make a run. I got the bladder of a 51-year-old. So, Bob, on that note, I'll leave you with that image.
Yeah, as we've already made it weird.
I'll let you recover from that. There you go. I'll leave that.